So to start off today's video, we are going to be replacing the carburetor on this Troy-Bilt TB240 push mower. The story has it, it was bought new, used once, and then put away in a garage for about 8 years. It looks in really good shape for how old it is, apparently. I'm not sure how factual the story is, but it did have some pretty nasty gas in it. I have drained the old fuel, put new fuel in it, I cleaned the carburetor out it has on it, and it still does not like to run very well, so I went ahead and asked the customer, would you like me to just go ahead and replace the carburetor? He said go for it, and so I have the kit that I will show you right now. Okay, so as you can see here, I've got the full carburetor kit, tune-up kit laid out here. I've got some screwdrivers, some pliers. It came with a fresh spark plug, a fresh fuel filter, a piece of fuel hose, a pre-cleaner, an air cleaner, a fresh new carburetor, and some gaskets, all for about $26 on Amazon. I will put the link in the description. And we're going to use that to go ahead and repair this mower. So I'm going to go ahead and set the camera down, and let's get it to, I'm going to show you the full tear down, the take off, the replacement, put back on, and the first start. Okay guys, you can see here I've already removed the old air filter, and it doesn't actually look that bad, but since it is a customer's machine and this one is pretty crummy, I went ahead and got the kit that has the air filter with it. Plus, it didn't come much of an extra cost. So, first things first, once you make sure your fuel is turned off, this is probably going to have a little bit of fuel left in the bowl, but I don't want to have to start it up and run it out or anything. We'll just drain it as we go. But first things first, you want to go ahead and pop your air filter cover off. As you can see, the air filter is missing. This would go right here. This comes out. You can take these and set them off to the side. So now there's two 10mm bolts right here. So I'm going to go ahead and reach over my left side and grab my 1/4" drive ratchet and the 10mm socket, which is always missing, of course. So I have my 1/4" drive ratchet, my 10mm socket. Go ahead and make sure it's in reverse mode. I'm just going to go ahead and take these off. And I will warn you, these studs not only hold the airbox on, but they hold the carburetor on and the intake chute, or the intake tube that's on the back of the carburetor, between the carburetor and the head. These two studs hold all of that on. So when you go to take it off, all of that's going to come off with it. So just a fair warning there. I'll go ahead and take these loose. And this carburetor actually does have the built-in auto choke on it. So this carburetor will automatically turn its choke on and off in order to make the engine crank over when you pull it. This mower is a 21-inch self-propelled push mower, front-wheel drive. It is a very nice model mower. It's very clean. So yeah, it's and with the kit, I also got a spark plug and a new fuel filter. So I might as well go ahead and splice the line and stick all that on and put the new fuel filter on, just so that way it can have that little extra bit of protection. Here is the replacement carburetor, right here. It doesn't look identical to the original carburetor, but that is just because this is an aftermarket carburetor. I'm gonna put it on and make sure it's gonna fit. If not, I'll have to call my customer and let them know that it doesn't fit. But as far as the Amazon ad is concerned, this does fit a TB240 Troy-Bilt with the Honda GCV 160 motor. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and slide this on there and make sure it fits. I think I'm just going to set the pre-cleaner aside because it didn't have one factory. There's no reason I should have to put this on there because then it's going to take away from the airflow, the stock airflow. I still have a brand new filter here, so let's go ahead and put this on. Go ahead and unpackage our new air filter. And it's just like the old one. Same kind of paper air filter. And it goes in there just like this. It slides in, holds in place, and voila. You take your air filter cover, go ahead and clip it back in on the bottom. And clip it in up top. There you go. We've successfully replaced our carburetor. Let's move around to the front of the engine and replace the spark plug. So here's our new spark plug in the box. It is a waxing spark plug. It's just whatever came with the package. It is a fresh, brand new plug. Right there is the number, if you can read it. It's kind of reversed right this second, but that's how that goes. So we're going to go ahead and I need to pull the ignition cable off, set it off to the side. And it is a 13/16 socket. Goes on there with a 3/8 inch drive ratchet. I'm going to go ahead and pull it off. Of course, they might be a little bit tight. Don't mind the choo-choo train. Someone just wants my attention through text message. Go ahead and loosen that out. There's our old spark plug, which it actually doesn't look all that bad. And the stock plug is an NKGR BPR 5ES plug. That is the stock plug number, which if I set it up against the new plug I have for it, they look just about identical. So of course, if I have to replace the plug again in the future, I'm going to use an NKG plug. But for this instance, I'm going to go ahead and use the new plug that I have fresh here. That way I can make sure I got a fresh carburetor, fresh fuel, fresh plug, fresh everything. So we'll set our old plug to the side. And we'll go ahead and put our new plug in. And just hand tighten it down into the engine. And stop. Then take your socket. Stick it on. And I make sure it actually grabs onto the threads of the spark plug. Once it does, give it a good, nice, snug turn. Don't do no more than that. Pull it off. And take your ignition wire. And get it and put it back on. And make sure you hear the little click. There's the click. So it had to click on the inside. I'm going to take the old plug and stick it in the box here. That way I have it for a spare if I need it. Now I can go ahead, step off to the side. And since it's a push mower, I don't really assume it needs a fuel filter, but they sent one with the kit. I'm going to keep that on the shelf in case I need it for another machine or something else. In this instance, it doesn't really need a fuel filter because it has a cleaner. When you pour the fuel into the tank, it has a cleaner. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep using that instead of having a inline filter. And as long as I shut the fuel off, or the customer shuts fuel off every time they use it, we shouldn't have much more issues. So let me go ahead and get the camera set up, and let's see if it fires up. Alright, we have our fuel turned on. I'm going to go ahead and make a quick check of the tank, make sure I remembered to put fuel in it this time. Of which I didn't, so I have to go get some fuel and put it in. So I have my gas can here. I'm going to go ahead and open the lid. Let's take the cap off the tank here. And of course, I'm not going to completely fill it up because there's no sense in doing that. I'm not mowing my grass. But, nonetheless, it does need some fuel to run. Be very gentle with it as well. Not to spill it everywhere. It's got fuel in it now. Go ahead and tighten it down, make sure we hear our 3 clicks. Put the cap back on our tank. Set it to the side. And I believe we are ready for our first fire up. Make sure the dipstick is tight. Pull the lever. I call that a job well done. Alrighty, after a couple minutes of use, you can see I've cut a little spot of my grass here, and it is running great now, much better than it did when I first got it. As you've seen what I did, I changed the carburetor, changed the air filter, and I replaced the spark plug. There you have it, you guys. Thanks for watching this video. If you found it helpful, let me know in the comments and hit the like button. Subscribe for more stuff like this. Thanks for watching.